Now, I don't know who got Chris Brown this mad, but the guy has been spiraling for the past few days, and it looks like he's finally ready to expose just how shady Jay Z really is. Chris still hasn't fully recovered from the 2009 incident with Rihanna, and fans believe he's finally at the point where he's ready to tell the truth. Word is, Chris isn't just about to reveal what really happened that night, he's also planning to go all in on Jay Z and Diddy's private dealings and the madness they've allegedly been involved in for years. It looks like we're finally about to see how deep this rabbit hole really goes. And spoiler, it goes very deep. If you've been keeping up with this drama, you already know why Jay Z's name always gets dragged into the conversation whenever the topic of Rihanna and Chris Brown comes up. Fans often say Rihanna was one of Jay Z's biggest investments, which is why he allegedly twisted the whole situation to make Chris look like the villain. Jaguar Wright was actually one of the first people to speak on this, claiming that Jay Z didn't just sign Rihanna, he allegedly trafficked her from Barbados using his music label as a cover. On top of that, she also claimed he paid Rihanna's father $500,000 once she arrived in the US.
Who discovered Rihanna at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room on the island where she comes from, with no parental supervision. And then she was put on a private plane, a minor, from one country to another, without parental supervision. And she ended up in a boardroom with Mr. Carter, without parental supervision. Y'all got young children. Would you just let your daughter leave and go to a whole other country with some because you don't know?
Absolutely not.
Doing talent shows at 3 a.m.
So you're saying that the rumors are true. There are rumors circulating that Rihanna was actually here. Are you saying that
Starting to sound that way, don't it? Because her daddy ain't show up till 24 hours later to pick up a $500,000 check for his daughter's ass. Maybe we should look more into that album, Auntie. That album cover was disturbing. A child bride with a crown over her head and blood smeared on her face. I don't know. How don't people see SOSs anymore?
Well, Rihanna eventually came to the US on her own at just 16 years old, and Jay Z reportedly pressured her into signing a contract with his label. He even kept her sitting in an office until 3 a.m. because he was under intense pressure to finalize the deal at any cost. And I don't know about you, but keeping a 16-year-old girl in a building that late at night definitely raises some serious red flags. To make the situation even more disturbing, Rihanna once revealed in an interview that Jay Z actually told her he'd throw her out the window of his 27th floor office if she didn't agree to sign the contract.
So nervous. I was shaking literally. But the moment I walked into the office, the atmosphere was so warm and welcoming.
And you had to sing a cappella for him?
Yes, I had to sing. I sang Fun to Replay. I sang another ballad from the album last time.
Yeah. So then what did he say to you? He said something to you.
Oh yes, he said, we don't sign songs here, we sign artists. And there was this little pause, and I was nervous. But then he said, and we're interested. And there was this sudden feel of relief.
But then he said something about a window and a door.
Oh, then he said, he did it homework.
I did a lot of homework on you, Miss Lady.
He said, there are two ways to leave here, either through the door with the deal sign or through this window, and we're on the 29th floor.
So you was like, where's the pen? Where's the paper? I'm signing.
Yeah.
And I'm sure working with Jay Z, you met Beyonce.
That's right.
Pressuring a 16-year-old girl in the middle of the night is already bad enough, but throwing in threats to force her into signing a contract takes things to an entirely new level of shady. And let's not forget that Rihanna was still a minor at the time. So legally, the whole situation is questionable at best, especially since there's doubt about whether Jay Z even had the right to sign her without a parent or guardian present. She didn't have a lawyer with her either, which means no one was there to explain the contract or protect her interests. She could have unknowingly signed her entire future away. So yeah, fans have plenty of reasons to believe Jay Z viewed her strictly as an investment and was willing to do whatever it took to protect that. If her career went down because of a scandal, he stood to lose millions. And allegedly, that's exactly what happened during that 2009 incident. Oh, and surprise, surprise, guess who fans now believe was right at the center of it all? Diddy. Word is, Chris Brown is now claiming Jay Z pressured him to play the bad guy in the situation, even though, according to Chris, Rihanna was actually the one at fault. Apparently, Jay Z was running damage control to protect his own reputation, because if it had come out that Rihanna was cheating on Chris, people might have started digging, and that trail could have led straight back to Jay Z. And considering he was married to Beyonce at the time, yeah, that kind of scandal would have been explosive. Rihanna herself said in an interview that the fight started because she caught Chris in a lie, and when he wouldn't admit the truth, and she wouldn't let it go, things escalated into violence. She said, "I caught him in a lie, and he wouldn't tell the truth, and I wouldn't drop it. I couldn't take that he kept lying to me, and he couldn't take that I wouldn't drop it. It escalated into him being violent towards me, and it was ugly. I was battered. I was bleeding. I was swollen in my face." She also admitted their relationship was extremely toxic, saying, "The more in love we became, the more dangerous we became for each other. Equally dangerous. It was a bit of an obsession." Now, on the surface, it might seem like Chris is just trying to rewrite the narrative to save face, especially with the backlash he's received over his treatment of women. But here's the twist. Jaguar Wright has now stepped forward to back him up, claiming there's a lot more to this story than the public was ever told.
I don't understand why people keep talking about that. It was forever ago. They were both very young, and he had just had his first herpes outbreak from her giving him the herpes.
Ooh, my.
Like, how did you know what I mean? Like people don't understand what happened that night. And that's because Jay Z worked so hard to change the narrative of that night.
Jaguar Wright took things even further when she backed up the long-standing rumors that Jay Z and Rihanna were allegedly more than just a mentor and protege, and she didn't stop there because she clearly wasn't here to play. According to her, Rihanna's team deliberately orchestrated her relationship with Chris Brown as a distraction to steer attention away from the growing whispers about her and Jay Z. It was supposedly all part of a larger scheme designed to shift the public's focus. So while the world was busy watching Rihanna and Chris flaunt their young love in the limelight, the real scandal, whatever was happening between Rihanna and Jay Z, was being carefully hidden behind the scenes.
Rihanna was only 14, 15 when he started her and signed to the death jail. It's clear to say that the herpes that she had came from the person she had been most involved with, and that was Sean Carter. So here it is. Chris Brown has his first herpes outbreak from a celebrity girlfriend who he was set up with, and it was supposed to be this and it was supposed to be that, and he was there so people wouldn't pay attention to the fact that she was crazy, underage.
And then there's the bombshell revelation about Chris reportedly catching Rihanna in some seriously compromising situations at a party.
Jay Z gave her the herpes that she gave to Chris Brown. And that first night, when he had that outbreak and he busted in his house and said, "Where the f is this dirty bitch?" I can't fault him for that. He had this is beautiful. Oh, wonderful. Chris Brown, she done ruined him. She ruined him at 19 years old. He's got the Jay Z herpes. And Rihanna ain't innocent. Because she was in there giving that nigga in the coat closet when Chris Brown came in. He said, always.
Well, fans are now connecting the dots. And can you guess who they say threw the party in the first place? That's right, Diddy. This shouldn't come as a surprise, since that kind of wild party fits perfectly with Diddy's style. According to Jaguar, the party was pretty out there, with people giving out Gawk 3000 and passing around herpes like it was a party favor. Does that sound familiar? because it definitely sounds like one of Diddy's infamous freak-offs. And when you consider Diddy's close relationship with Jay Z, it's not so far-fetched to connect the dots. After all, Diddy himself has said that Jay Z is the only person allowed to call him by his real name, Sean.
There's only one person.
Oh, go on.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
Outside of my mother.
Okay,
That should be calling me. Yeah, they should be calling me Sean.
So yeah, it goes without saying that these two are thicker than thieves, which is why fans are convinced Diddy was part of the alleged plot to ruin Chris Brown's career to protect Jay Z's investment in Rihanna. Oh, and you know how Diddy is currently facing trafficking charges? Well, isn't it interesting that Jay Z was also investigated by federal authorities for the same thing? Like they say, birds of a feather flock together, and these two were definitely flocking hard. Remember when Rihanna's publicist came forward claiming he was the one who spread the fake news about Rihanna and Jay Z's affair, saying he did it to boost Rihanna's career? He said, "The PR stunt that I did was out of desperation to help break Panda Replay. It was reckless, and I didn't think it was going to work. I was just throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what stuck. I didn't think it would be this big of a story. But now knowing that people are profiting from speculations and opinions about her really turns my stomach. I'm ashamed that I'm even talking about this. I just want to put this rumor to rest once and for all." Interestingly, the publicist later admitted he lied to take the heat off Rihanna even more. He claimed the feds have been investigating Jay Z for allegedly trafficking young women in the industry. He said, "One day, unmarked law enforcement cars stopped me. These intimidating individuals introduced themselves as a federal task force and requested to speak with me. I followed them, and I was in a complete state of panic. As I sat in the desolate makeshift interrogation room, the gravity of the situation became clear." He continued, "They mentioned they had been watching Jay Z closely since he launched Rockefeller, and that he was also implicated in a violent incident with R. Kelly during their joint tour promoting their album. The officers said they were investigating Jay Z for allegedly engaging in intimate activity with underage Rihanna and transporting her across international borders. They said she wasn't the only one and that there were many others. So far, nothing official has come from that investigation, but remember, this is one hot mess. But what do y'all think? Is there some truth to Chris's claims, or is he just trying to get sympathy and good publicity? Drop your thoughts in the comments, then check out this next video.